Hi, everyone. This is part three of Matthew Peterson from Watch Caregivers. This is part three of my interview with Armen Abrahamian from Long-Term Care Insurance, a long-term care insurance specialist based in North Haven, but working with clients all through the area. And we've talked about a lot of different things, and I think the purpose of what we're going to talk about in the next 2-3 minutes is just some of the details that need to be discussed and kind of gone over. Armen, I don't know if you got something you want to say off the forefront here.
Sure. So we've covered a lot during those first two segments. Let me address, I'll call it the elephant in the room, which are rate increases.
Rate increases are a huge thing. I have a number of clients who have long-term care, and it's the first thing they say. They say, I've got long-term care insurance, and I had a big rate increase.
Yeah. It's just a notoriously horrible problem, especially for folks who've owned older policies, legacy policies, as we call them, from the mid-90s through the early, say, 2000s. Unfortunately, Matthew, what the actuaries did was they were wrong. They miscalculated, gross miscalculations. They never anticipated the number of folks who would go on claim, the length of claim, the frequency of claim. They miscalculated the interest rates that they'd be earning on their policy reserves. They thought they'd be getting much higher rates of return. And as you well know, interest rates these days are extremely low. And they also anticipated a much higher drop-off rate with people dropping their policies, not keeping them. That's what the insurance company was counting on. In fact, people keep their policies. So subject to approval by the insurance department, there have been a lot of rate increases. I have a lot of clients who've had even 100% rate increases over a 15 or 20-year period of time. I get a lot of calls from my clients working with them to either reduce some benefits to keep the premiums essentially the same, or even calls from individuals who are not clients of ours, but their agent is no longer in the business, and so we're assisting them. But it's a problem. It's a problem that the industry feels they have resolved on policies going forward because the new assumptions are much more accurate and correct.
So if you have a policy, if someone has a policy, how do they get started? How do they get started in filing that claim, and what should they be thinking about as they begin that process?
Sure. So when somebody owns long-term care insurance, typically what the company is looking for is, do you qualify? Do you actually have a long-term illness, which is defined as needing assistance, for example, with two of your activities of daily living, things such as bathing and dressing, or do you have cognitive impairment, dementia, Alzheimer's, this sort of thing. So in all cases, Matthew, we work with our clients, but we tell you that, and the family, speak with the insurance company, get your physician involved because your doctor is a big part of this. And I will say that it can take some work at the front end to get that plane off the ground, to get the claim in place and so forth. But typically, once that's in place, it works quite well where the company is paying for those expenses at home or in a facility. Again, I'll say for people who don't have an agent, we've been able to assist many clients who need that hand holding and would like that assistance. We're able to help.
And just putting the two pieces together, because some of these policies are so old, they were written in the 90s or maybe even the 80s. The agents who wrote them may be retired. They may be on a beach someplace in Florida. It's good that you're able to help people and step into that role. Just part of the great service that you offer. Thank you, Armen, for participating, and thank you everyone for watching. Hopefully you watched all three videos and found them to be useful. Again, I am Matthew Peterson from Watch Caregivers, and you are?
Armen Abrahamian with Long-Term Care Insurance. Matthew, thank you for having me.
Thank you. You take care. Bye-bye.